Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to go and take a look at what is going on with Scarlet and Violet. There are bargains to be had, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to Scarlet and Violet base set. But these are actually telling us a bit more than it might look like initially. So starting off then, how did this come to my attention? Well, I got a message over on Twitter from the lovely Hisham Elfar, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name badly, who alerted me to the fact that over at Smith's in the UK, they are doing a buy one, get one free promotion on Scarlet and Violet booster packs, which is weird, frankly, because I don't see buy one, get one free on Pokemon very often at all. There's plenty of bundle deals you'll see around all the time, but actually half-price booster packs, buy one, get one free, that is not something we see very often at all. Scarlet and Violet base is basically half price right now, and it's in stock. Like, as I'm recording this, and I can't promise things aren't going to change in the future, but as I'm recording this right now, we've basically got Scarlet and Violet in stock, buy one, get one free, very readily available. And it's available online and all of that. There's none of this run to your local stores and try, which sometimes, unfortunately, does happen when it comes around to bargains. This time it's just out there and ready to go. And firstly, this is your warning. If you're in the UK and you're into Scarlet and Violet base, and we'll talk more about the set in a moment, you should be thinking about picking up a bunch of these. The offer is valid until September the 30th, which is actually the day after my birthday, which is kind of weird. Should I be picking a bunch of this up for my birthday? Should I be doing that? Maybe I should. Because here's the thing, right? It actually says on the website that, you know, if you have a look, it's got a little note there which says buy one, get one free on Pokemon trading card game Scarlet and Violet booster pack assortment, but it's literally just this one. It is literally just Scarlet and Violet. That is the only one that is there. So I find it kind of interesting now, like, hey, there's an assortment. No, there isn't. It's literally just these. But of course, we've talked about this before, and I think this is pretty gosh darn relevant. This doesn't tend to exist in a vacuum. This tends to keep rolling as we go. So the reality of the situation is that if it's selling out and, you know, going super cheap here, the overwhelming likelihood, not a guarantee, but the overwhelming likelihood is that this is going to be carrying on in the future. This is going to end up being pretty cheap as we go in a bunch of different places. Like, if we go over to eBay right now, and I know it's not a perfect thing, but let's just kind of go for it, and have a look at Scarlet and Violet booster box, which I gotta tell you is actually super annoying, because, like, Stellar Crown is Scarlet and Violet Stellar Crown. And Temporal Forces is Scarlet and Violet Temporal Forces. So honestly, it's actually super annoying trying to find boxes of Scarlet and Violet base on places like eBay, because when you search for them, you get a million results which are not what you're actually looking for. But if we do go and have a look on eBay and we actually find some that are what we're looking for, they're pretty cheap. As a side note, do put base when you're searching for these. Put base in your search. Scarlet and Violet base, you will generally find what you're looking for. And you can see that they're pretty readily available at $100. $100 is about right for a booster box of Scarlet and Violet right now. And you know what? Yeah, that's pretty cheap. But here's the thing that tends to happen with stuff like this. It starts being sold off, and it goes super, super cheap because everyone's clearing their stock. And then after a while, stock gets cleared. And then when stock is cleared, it starts going back up again. Take Rebel Clash as an example. Rebel Clash was not a good set. Rebel Clash is not a set that everybody gets super excited about. Rebel Clash is a very meh kind of set. It's not one that people are absolutely loving. However, you go on eBay right now and try and buy a booster box of Rebel Clash, and you're paying like 220 quid. Annoyingly, I cannot find a bunch in a row to get a good screenshot of, so you'll have to forgive me for that one. But trust me, this is about what we're paying. 220 quid is actually the cheapest one I saw when I looked this morning and got this screenshot. $220. That is what you are paying for a booster box of Rebel Clash. This is not a great set. Rebel Clash was a set that was readily available for a long time because nobody really wanted it because it wasn't a particularly good set. And yet, booster box now, $220. That is actually above retail. I mean, the ultimate test here is battle styles. Nobody wanted battle styles at all. Battle Styles was readily available, and I save all of these images. My computer's actually getting full. It's really sad. But I'll get an external hard drive. It'll be fine. But I save all of these images with dates on and all of that so that I can refer back to them in the future. And for instance, in July 2021, if you paid more than $90 for a booster box of Battle Styles, you were paying hilariously over the odds. What are they selling for nowadays? About $145. Which I know doesn't sound like a huge amount, but that is significantly above what they were a couple of years ago. And, this is one of the most derided sets in years and years. Nobody liked Battle Styles. So I'm just telling you right now, Scarlet and Violet is cheap. It is buy one, get one free over on Smith's. It is available on eBay nice and cheap if you're in the US and you can't go to Smith's. I mean, right now, over at Smith's, you're paying $4.19 for 2 booster packs, right? Well, that basically means you go and times that by 18, and that's the price of a booster box, £77.22. That's what you're paying for a booster box of Scarlet and Violet if you go to Smith's right now. Now, the annoying thing is, if you shop online, the chances are if you buy 36 packs, they might not sell it as a box. My recommendation is, if you want to do this, go into your local Smith's and actually ask to get a sealed box. If they've got one, I'm sure they will have no issues doing this. But yeah, that's basically where we are. That's absurdly cheap. It's not going to last, ladies and gentlemen. There is no way this is going to last. I'm not saying how long it's going to last, but my experience is this. When you start seeing discounts this deep in a set, this is basically Smith's clearing their stock. And we're going to see this happening in other places. And frankly, Stellar Crown is Scarlet and Violet 7. This is Scarlet and Violet 1. It is not going to be available forever. Now, singles-wise, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not a phenomenal set for singles. Like, your top 5 cards right now, you've got your Gardevoir Special Illustration Rare, which is like a $28 card, which is a cool card and very playable, and honestly, arguably should be more. You've got your Miriam Special Illustration Rare, which is like a $23 card. And this was, do you remember how hyped Miriam was when this set came out in Japan? It was absurdly hyped. But the reality is, it's gone away now, ladies and gentlemen. And the hype's gone away, I mean. This card is pretty available. And this is another little tip from your old pal Wassy. If you're still watching into this video at this stage, here's a little tip for you, right? This is going to end up going up. I don't know when. I don't know how much. I can't give you all the details. If I could make much money. But the point is, if the set starts getting harder to find, the singles prices will start going up. That's just a given. But what we've got here is your Miriam for $23, which is pretty gosh darn cheap. Miraidon EX is available for $14 right now. I need to pick up some of these singles. Before they actually go away. Because, oh my word, this Miraidon is one. I don't have this. I need to get this card. And then we've got Routes for like $14 and Drowsy for $12. Yeah, apparently these are pretty good as well. Oh, and Gold Nest Ball. Gold Nest Ball's like a $12, $13 card as well. There we go, I gave you a 6. These are not particularly big cards, that's not the point. I'm not saying go and buy a bunch of Scarlet and Violet, open them, get some singles, make loads of money or any of that rubbish, no. I'm saying that we have got deep discounts right now. And like I say, if Smith's is selling it cheap, other places probably will as well. Keep your eyes open. Check your local shops. This is probably going to keep happening. And then it's not going to last forever. So my advice to you is, if you want some Scarlet and Violet, now seems like an excellent time to go and be picking some of this up. It's not going to last forever. And when it does run out, I think a bunch of people are going to be sad. But there we go. I've told you what you need to know. I've given you all the information. So now it's over to you guys. Have you got your fill of Scarlet and Violet? Have you seen any good deals around where you live? Are you going to run and pick some up? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Stegaraptor, who's been a supporter of ours for a while and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.